Welcome to the first Monetization Monday with Manny and Matt. Obviously, I'm Manny. This is
Hi,
Matt.
Matt.
Say hi, Matt.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm gonna lay out a few ground rules. I see a lot of familiar faces from the old ones, a lot of new faces, which is good to see. How I like to do it is do the Q&A after. This way I could maybe answer some of your questions in the slideshow. We do have a slideshow, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Tonight's going to be a little bit quicker. Tonight is more of a get to know you, who we are, what we do. So Matt will tell you a little bit about himself. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, the company, what we do for loans, what we're looking for, and then we'll answer anything that's put in the Q&A. So the Q&A you can see is on the bottom of your screen for those who are familiar with Zoom. Don't use the chat. I prefer the Q&A. This way I can keep track of what I answered and what I didn't. This way everybody gets attended to. So with that being said, team, I'm going to share my screen and we will start the presentation. We are Merchants Property Solutions, all right? And we are the accredited group, and with the accredited group, Matt's the accredited group. Our Merchants Property Solutions, we'll tell you the difference in a second. So Merchants Property Solutions, we are a full service mortgage bank located in Melville, New York, which is about half hour outside the city for those who don't know. And we're committed to assisting families and businesses and business proprietors in building generational wealth in real estate. We provide specialized support for first-time homebuyers, commercial purposes, refinancing, in addition to business owners who have a hard time obtaining a mortgage through the conventional route, customizing their financial solutions to align with your objectives. Our knowledgeable loan officers have successfully managed thousands of loans, and guys, probably in my 25 career, well into the billions of dollars in funding loans through the journey of property ownership and lasting wealth and more. Now, that's Merchants Property Solutions. So we are the accredited business group that consists of the accredited group and Merchants Property Solutions. They handle all of the business loans. I handle all of the mortgages. Okay. On the mortgage side, we are a bank. All right. We choose to be a bank on that side because of licensing purposes. You do not need as many licenses for a business loan, only in certain states. Brokerage license, like what? California, I think Vermont,
Yeah,
Virginia.
New York.
Well, New York, yeah, brokerage license. So we have all of them as well to do business. So I'm now going to hand over to Matt. He's going to tell you about the accredited group.
Alrighty. So, like Manny said, the Accredited Group, we handle all the business funding and financing options. The Accredited Group is a team of entrepreneurs who have successfully built businesses, but have experienced many obstacles and challenges along the way. We understand the struggles business owners have in obtaining capital, especially when unforeseen issues or opportunities arise. Over a decade ago, we decided to start working in the small business lending market and have since helped thousands of businesses obtain over 500 million in funding. We pride ourselves on first-class service and believe that every business has a story, and we are willing to listen.
Now, guys, keep in mind 500 million on the surface doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing 5, 10, $15,000 loans, which is some of our portfolio, on top of the SBA loans that could be in the millions, that 5,000 equates into thousands upon tens of thousands of transactions. On the accredited side, just a quick story. We've been involved in the business loan side, upper management, since '08. All right, it's been around that long. One of the first companies that opened up, I think, was actually maybe 1999, was Can Capital. But when the financial market started to collapse, for those of you that are old enough, we needed an alternative to mortgages and help business owners, and that was business funding. So, upper management has been involved for decades in that, and that shows in our professionalism, and more importantly, our experience as brokers on where to send it and where not to send it. So sometimes being a broker isn't a bad thing. All right. So some of the key heights in working with Merchants Property Solutions. For primary residences, we lend in 38 states plus the District of Columbia for primary and second homes. When it's an investment property, we're in all 50 states. Okay. One of the most important things to me about being a bank is all the loans are underwritten in-house. That means I could go to my underwriter with time sensitive, the loans time sensitive, or information that's important to the approval of the loan, and bring it right to my underwriter. So that's, again, one of the benefits. Our loan types range from FHA, VA, conventional, and the more popular products, non-QM. And again, guys, they're all underwritten in-house. We underwrite our own VAs, we underwrite our own FHAs and conventionals and the non-QMs. Some banks of our size, what they will do is they will send out the non-QMs to the direct investor. We don't care. We underwrite it, then we figure out a way to sell it because we want to get the person their money and we want our processing times to be quick. All right. Which leads me to the next. Processing is in-house. Underwriting is in-house, as I said. No overlays on any loans, which is very important when it comes to FHA, because some banks do FHA. When it comes to FHA, they have overlays, okay? And the overlays could kill a deal. And then alternative ways to prove income. So that's, again, the quick key points on the MPS side. Now we're going to go over Matt and a couple of tag key highlights.
Alrighty, so for the Accredited Group first starting, we've been providing business financing and lending solutions since 2008. We serve clients in all 50 states across the United States. We offer anywhere from residential and commercial financing options with alternative documentation programs, which we'll get into a little bit later. Leadership team brings more than 15 years of industry experience, helping entrepreneurs and business owners grow. Known for the fast and flexible funding solutions, including your same-day fundings, provide a full suite of products, including lines of credit, equipment finance, term loans, merchant services, go into the SBA, express term loans, as well as personal funding. And we, open the platform to any brokers, affiliates, referral sources nationwide to expand your access to capital to, your clients, to your network, where we can, be a tool in your tool belt.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so business types that we're going to do, and again, switch something to Matthew. So here are just some of the business types, guys. This is not a list that's etched in stone. Sometimes some of the stuff is in vogue depending on the economy. For example, construction companies, they may be good this quarter, next quarter, they might be tough to get done. So I'm going to hand it off to Matthew. Matt, just give them a brief rundown on what we do.
So in regards to, the retrospective business funding as a whole, anytime you have a client, me or John, my colleague, definitely give us a call or to our business advisors. If you have an opportunity, don't hesitate to run it by us. Of course, there are some industries, like Manny said, sometimes, in the month, they might be good, sometimes bad, right? As long as you have a client has 6 months time in business, is generating revenue, and they're looking for financing, whether that's to, take care of marketing, inventory, employee, payroll, anything like that, don't hesitate, give us a shout. As you can see, these are, the general overview of the businesses that we typically work with. So, Manny, take it away.
Yes. And again, team, I know we go a little fast. I see there's a bunch of questions piling up in the Q&A. We will answer them. We'd like to go through the slides first. If we answer something already, obviously we'll go over it again. But like Matthew said, these businesses are just like the staple businesses. If you have something like a farm, they don't see in here. There's roofing or somebody has self-storage, something along those lines. We've even gotten real estate management companies done. Gas stations used to be unpopular because the profitability was very low on them, but we have now a home to do them. Again, we feel with businesses, you need to be a broker because you need to bring things different places, because every business, there's probably 3 to 5 million registered businesses in the United States alone. Everyone runs differently and has different financials. So you need that ability to bring it different places, hence why we decided to be a broker on that side. Okay, so on the accredited business solution side, aka TAG. So we do performance loans, which could be a daily payment, a weekly payment, or a monthly payment. All right, strictly based on your bank statements. We also do an SBA loan. Now, SBA loans, I feel like they used to be tough, still are a little tough, but they're not considered tough for me because it's like doing a mortgage. Sometimes on the business loan side, it feels like it's a bit paperwork heavy, which it's not compared to a mortgage. So we're used to it. And Matt, tell her how successful we'll be with the 7A Express.
So for the 7A Express, that's mainly for business owners. Of course, it is heavier in documentation, but like I said, on the upfront, if you're able to get those documents into our team, Manny is basically a bank. He has the connections to be able to take care of these opportunities quick, and you have a liable team. So any updates, anything you need, we're here to help. We have the term loan. We actually have a brand new product that, maybe the next time that we get into it, it's something that we've recently been able to provide for these business owners, up to 350,000, 10-year terms, and we're able to fund them in less than 14 business days. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have any clients that you're actually working with right now, where, they've been in business for quite some time, they're generating revenue and maybe don't want to go the revenue-based route. That's definitely a great option. We have, your lines of credit and equipment financing as well. So, keep us in mind, of course, as you come across these clients or you have any questions, obviously, drop a question if you have it now, or you can reach out to me after the call and I'll be happy to answer anything.
And one of the things I wanted to add, everyone, I think last summer, okay, in 2025, either August or June, SBA put a new guideline change where you can't pay off cash advances. So I know a lot of people in here, again, see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces. A lot of people in here deal with merchant cash advances. We do as well. It could be a great tool. It could be a blessing or a curse for a business. But sometimes the money's needed so quickly, they take that money, but now they want to pay it off. So we have a product outside of SBA that will consolidate for you. And it's not a merchant cash advance where you don't pay and you negotiate. It's a true term loan. It's very similar to SBA guidelines, proprietary to one bank that we use on this side. And like Matt said, keep in mind on that side, we can get on with different banks because it's not a broker talking to a bank. It's another federally insured bank or federally approved bank talking to another bank. So I'm able with my mortgage license and the banking license to get on with other banks that people can't, which gives us better term loans, better lines of credit, and better equipment financing. Even if it's not a bank people can't get on, they like dealing with us better because we know financing, we know protecting the bank and the money is important. And the odds of us committing fraud, which we don't do, are a lot better than some broker on the street who's just looking to make a quick couple $1,000s off somebody's loan. Because again, I have an NMLS 59001. It's very, very small, my NMLS number, because I've been doing this a while. Okay. So that leads us to MPS. The loan side is a little bit longer, but we know all of these loans very well. We do them all very well, and we close a bunch of them each month. So your cookie cutter stuff, your FHA, your VA, your conventional, that is cookie cutter. That's what everybody does. Doesn't make us special in doing this. What makes us special is the fact that these next bunch of loans, with the exception of commercial, we will do in-house. Your bank statement deals, your profit and loss, your debt service, which is DSCR, which that's our most popular loan right now. Your HELOCs and your HE loans, second mortgages, fix and flip, ground up. Again, all for those investors who are looking to get in, get off, get out, and commercial loans. All right. Commercial loans, the only thing that we do not do in-house, and we do broker. All right. But again, I'm able, with our banking credentials, because they're impeccable, I'm able to get on with other banks that a normal broker can't, because we're not considered a broker. It's bank to bank. It's much different with broker to bank than bank to bank. Okay. And again, in the spirit of this Monetization Mondays, each Monday, we're going to do every other Monday, we're going to go over one type of business loan and get in depth. Okay. Get down to the little small details. And same thing. And we're going to go over each loan. So, for example, each one of these loans will be a segment. All right. Next. This is the type of residences I can do. I can do your primary residences. I can do a second home, or I could do an investment property. All right. So that is types of properties we can do. No surprise there. Every bank can. And that's really it for what we do, guys. I'm going to leave that up for a little while. I'm going to say a couple more things. There's mine and Matt's contact information. Again, we are very active on our phones. Behind the camera, there's a whole office here. So it's not just Matt and myself. You got Nick, you have Jordan, you have John, you have the other John, you got Dave. Just to mention a few, I have 3 mortgage processors on my side to just help you guys monetize your clients and stay out there. So the point of us doing this is showing you how to monetize your clients. And one of the ways you can do that is just even use us to free up your time. We'll call the client for you. We'll process it for you and my team. We know where to put it. Learn from our mistakes that we made, because we're not perfect. We've made mistakes in a 25-year career. I'd be lying if I say I didn't. So learn from our mistakes. Learn how we see the people that's doing the best. And we'll get more into that again when these come. We'll have special guests. And then one segment that I go over alone, we'll show you what we do to market, how our emails are working, what we do to get the emails to go through spam, stuff like that's going to make us important. A lot of people can show you how to do a loan. Not a lot of people can show you how to market. That's what we're here for. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Just
I'm going to open it up. Going to bring it to Matt. Matt, go ahead.
so Before I was gonna say, if you were able to take a picture of the Popple, that's my direct contact information. So if you're not already signed up with us, feel free to, shoot me a text, give me a call after the Zoom is over. We'll take a quick call and I'll be able to give you a little more insight, send out the agreement to get you on board with us, take care of any questions that you might have, and really get more, into the weeds with the questions. If you, so yeah, like,
So with that being said, I'm gonna get to the Q&A, guys. All right, so do you have a no doc loan? We don't have a no doc loan. Those things have come and gone with 2008. Again, a lot of young people in here. 2008 was a very difficult time, and one of the things that made it really bad were these no income verification loans, just loans being based on credit score, 106% financing, meaning they were giving you 100% to buy the house, letting the seller contribute 6%. So there were people getting into houses with no money. That is a thing of a past. There are programs and grants that'll get you up to there, but not stated all full doc. So the closest thing I have to a no documentation loan is what's called the debt service loan or DSCR or the investment property loan. Depending on the lingo you use, there's a bunch of different ones. It is only going off the income of the property. So for example, they'll take the expenses, right? And they'll take the income. And as long as the expenses are covered by the income, you have a loan. All right. Yes, it goes by credit score and LTV, but as far as income wise, there's no debt to income. There is no documentation on your employment, and there's no documentation on any of your personal income. We only go off the income of the property, which we will do is it's part of the appraisal report. Okay. And again, after we're going to do, so how it's going to go, guys, we're going to do SBA the week after Memorial Day, because I know everybody's going to be around the Monday Memorial Day. So the next segment will be after that. And on that one, we're going to go the SBA 7A. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to go off to debt service. Unless we get a lot of feedback and you guys want us to do it sooner, we will. But again, don't wait to give us those loans 2 weeks from now. Start reaching out now. Again, we're here to help you monetize your book. All right. What is the highest that SBA goes up to? So we have a loan with SBA go between 10 and $15 million. All right, but that you do need collateral. So the collateral is important. Anything over, I believe,
if you have,
250, right?
yeah, if you
I'll let you feel that. The
if
SBA
you
expert.
are up to, if you have any collateral to pledge for the loan, your loan will be up to 25 years, typical SBA. Other than that, you'll see anywhere from 10 to 15 years. And yeah, like I said, I think it could go up to around 15 million is the max that we can go through one of our private lenders.
Again, the most important thing, again, SBA won't allow you to pay off cash advances.
Right.
We have a program that allows that. All right, mortgage question here, my territory. How fast can you close a loan? We've done them as long as 2 weeks and as long as 90 days. It all depends on the program. For example, I have a home equity line of credit, completely fintech and automatic and technology based. I can close those in 5 days. Average debt service loan, 14 to 21 days. Your average purchase is 30, just because there's a lot of parties involved. Your average commercial loan is 45 to 60 days. So it all depends on the loan. And we know speed is of the essence. And a lot of times the loan is held up by the borrower taking a long time to get paperwork. Okay. SBA question. How long does it take to do 7A Express? How does it take?
So I would say anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks is your typical turnaround time. Like I mentioned before, we have a new express product. So that can be, I've seen approvals and fundings within 10 days. But we usually see around like 14 to 21 days, we can have it closed. And that's the loan up to 350,000, 10-year term. And I did want to share a quick success story that we had. We had a construction company was generating around 190,000 a year, and we were able to get them approved for 200,000, funded in 10 days, 10-year term, right? So that's $2,000 a month that they're paying. And that's able to hire new employees, get new equipment, and I believe it was to put a down payment on a new commercial property that he was looking to purchase. So, keep that in mind. You don't have to be making millions of dollars to get approved for this loan. So, if you have any clients that are looking for something more traditional, more long-term, feel free to reach out to me.
Yes. Hey Ed, so Eric, I see you also jumped in here. To answer your question again, a mortgage loan, depending on the mortgage type, I have a home equity line of credit. Closes, if the client's a squeaky clean client, it's completely fintech or technology based. We have some of those that close in 5 to 10 business days tops. Your average mortgage loan is 21 to 30 days, encompassing everything. But the debt services are so easy, meaning the investment property loan. I'm doing those in 14 to 21 days. Your average refi, for a primary residence, 21 to 30 days on a refi or purchase. And your average commercial loan, 45 days, on your average commercial loan. But I do have outlets that do them in a little bit less. Okay, depending on the scenario. Again, guys, this is just the roundabouts. Some loans are quicker, some loans take longer. A lot of times it depends on the client and what they're doing. Okay.
We have a question about startup loans. So the route that we've been taking for these, we have a lot of inquiries about startup loans specifically. So if you're, someone who's looking to buy a business, maybe you have, great W-2 income, and now, you have something where you want to, take it to the next level, whether that's, purchasing new equipment to get started in. We have personal loans up to 500K. Now, in regards to the requirements or what we would need to see is your last year's personal tax return and a credit score of about 680 plus. And like I said, that's up to 680, up to 500,000 and funding in less than 2 weeks. So, if you have a client that's asking you about a startup, if they're looking for more, additional capital and maybe they don't have the business revenue yet, that's a great chance to, get them a personal loan and utilize that capital that way.
Very good. Mortgage question. What is your maximum LTV? So, depends on the program. Just a quick overview. Like I said, we'll get to these in future segments. And again, guys, as I say, future segments, you have our contact information. Please reach out, whether it's the Facebook group, whatever the case may be. Sometimes I like the Facebook group better because everybody gets a chance to learn. It's a great community. So if you go FHA full doc on a primary, max loan to value is 96.5. Purchase on an investment property, max LTV is 80, or rate and term refinance. When it comes to an investment property, cash out, 75 max. When it comes to your bank statement deals, 85 or 90 max. Commercial, if we go SBA commercial, 15% down or 85 loan to value. All other commercials between the 65 and 80%. And commercial, I give you a large range, guys, because there's so many different types of commercial and everything from your credit score, your physical address, because of the population, and obviously the appraisal, or your debt to income when it comes to you could max out first on your debt service ratio. So LTVs are dependent upon product. We can go anywhere from 65 to 96 and a half. Again, we're all individual scenarios. Reach out with Matt and myself, and we will answer them for you. What else we have? What should business owners prepare for applying for funding? Okay, great question. So a business owner, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, it depends on what they're looking for. If it's a performance loan, we just need an application, last 6 months bank statements, we have an approval. If it's an SBA loan, we need the last 3 years tax returns, business and personal, whether it's SBA Express or not. Equipment financing, there's a couple other things needed, but generally an application, an invoice.
Yep.
And what else?
Invoice, and then, I would say like 3 to 4 months bank statements just to prove the revenue and any liquidity that they might have in the account. For personal loan, like I mentioned, just the last year's personal tax return. And I think that's it for the products, right? For businesses.
Now, Lou, I see you put in the chat. I'm still not able to log into the portal. If you reach out to Matthew over here, he will
We're working
what
on
you need,
and
but
we're
I'll let him
working
answer
on
that.
yeah, we're working on getting it up. We had some updates that we wanted to take care of just for the partners to be able to view a couple of things in there. So we're still working on that. We should have it up sometime tomorrow. So that's for that. What else? Any other questions? Okay. Lowest credit score for a line of credit. So we can go as low as I would say a 625 for a line of credit, and that's going to be on the revenue based side. So, an application, 4 months business bank statements. The main thing that you want to be aware of, say if a client's coming to you looking for a line of credit, is when you want to ask for those 4 months of business bank statements, and you want to take a look at the daily ending balances. That's going to be the biggest factor that any lender is going to be looking at, because they want to see what money they have in the bank, because that's going to show if they can pay off that loan amount. And it's typically, I would say, bi-weekly or monthly basis, right? Because if someone is making $20,000 a month and only keeps a couple $100 in the account, they're not going to have that money to pay for that loan, especially if they're looking for a line of credit. And that's going to work as if they're going to have access to say $50,000, and they pull 20K, they're going to be paying on that 20,000, right? That they're going to start charging them on. And then as they pay it off, they'll have access back to that loan amount. So
I
yeah.
gotta say something though.
Yeah.
Either I gotta get in shape or you need to gain weight because you're much, much skinnier than I am. I kid, guys. I like to keep these things fun, and kudos to Matt for always going to the gym. I don't see how fast can we receive capital. Again, it depends if it's a refinance, anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. If it's a business, on the business loan side, if you're going SBA, it could take, I've seen, as long as 90 days. If it's an express, I've seen as little as 2 weeks, as long as 4 weeks. And if it's a performance loan, I've seen it in the same day.
Yep.
So it all depends on what we're going for. So again, I don't see any more questions, but I'm going to leave you guys on this. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us for any scenarios. Okay. We don't give out guidelines because we don't want you pre-qualifying a deal wrong, or we don't want you killing a deal wrong. Our thing is, let us take a look. I'd rather go through 100 no's to get to that one yes. I like to equate it again for those who watch Discovery and The Deadliest Catch or anything fisherman. What do? They collect everything, they throw away the small ones, and they keep the keepers. Okay. They don't, if they just try to focus on just the perfect fish or the perfect crab, they wouldn't get anything. Same thing here, guys. The affiliates, and I was getting to the monetization part, the affiliates slash partners that make the most money with us are the ones that bring us every reasonable scenario. And when I say reasonable, if somebody calls you up and says they're partners with Elon Musk, this is not even exaggeration. I'm partners with Elon Musk. He wants to build a data center in Texas, but he said I need to get the funding first. Either two things. I want what you're on, or that person's hallucinating, okay? And they're getting bullshitted. Pardon the French, it's not Elon Musk. So I don't say it that way to these people, but just beware. Stuff like that, I can't do. Residential, any feasible business, a startup. If you're saying to yourself, man, that can't be done, or this property is just too good to be true or something, most likely it can't be done. And again, run it by us. You'll see. Never think you're wasting our time. Never think we're going to get mad at you. We're here to teach you. We're here to help you. We're very patient. We deal with all levels of expertise on funding. We have people that come to us that have been in the business for 25 years itself. Sometimes they go to people that have been in the business for 3 years for counsel. So there's nothing wrong with seeking help. There's nothing wrong with asking us. We're never going to get mad. We're never going to pass up the opportunity to talk to you or teach you. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Matthew, any last words of wisdom?
No, I appreciate all the people that turned up for us today, and we look to see you again soon. And like I said, if you have any questions, I might put my cell phone number in the chat right before we end the call here, just so you guys, you want to reach out to me, give me a shout. I'm happy to chat. Yeah.
Go for it, Matt. Use that keyboard.
Oh.
All right, guys.
That's my direct cell number, so it's always on me. Feel free to give me a call, text me, whatever you need.
All right, guys. So again, everyone have a good night. If you're on the West Coast, let's make some phone calls. If you're on the East Coast, enjoy your dinner with the fam. Speak to everyone soon. And again, guys, don't be strangers. Don't be hesitate to reach out. Speak to everyone. Thank you, guys and girls.
Take care, guys.